everyone, today's video is going to be my May empties. So these are all of the items that I used up in the month of May. If you've been watching me for a while, then you know I absolutely love these videos. I love making them and I love watching them. So let's just go ahead and get into it. I've separated everything out into categories. Then we'll go over how much I've used up for this month and how I'm doing for the entire year, as far as how much I've used up versus how much I've spent. So let's start off with makeup. So the first thing I used up was just this little sample, and it is the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. And I don't love this. So this is just one of those like typical silicone primers, but I feel like it's really thick and it's almost suffocating. I don't like this. If you like this kind of thing, but you think this is a little thick, the YSL Touche Éclat Blur Primer is similar but much lighter and does a lot better job at blurring, I feel like, and keeping your makeup on. I just don't like this. I would never purchase that. But this packet is a value of $1.80. And as always, everything that I'm going to mention in these empties are what the value is, not necessarily what I paid for it. And then I used up this Neutrogena Crease Proof Eyeshadow in the shade number 50, Lasting Taupe. This was in my 17 and 17 project pan, and if you see in there, it's this like pretty shimmery taupe shade. I like these a lot. I like the stick format of a cream eyeshadow because you just pop it on. However, you couldn't blend these at all because if you did, they would just blend away. I also used this because I was trying to use it up, like I said, as a cream contour, and it just blended away. So it's okay. I don't love it enough to probably repurchase it. And I don't think these are really made that much anymore. But the value of this is $7.97. Next, I used up the Body Shop Loose Face Powder. Again, this is another Project Pan item. I'll go ahead and link my Project Pan playlist down below. So this is just a typical loose setting powder. As you can see, I took the sifter out. It is all gone. I had the shade number 2. It was nice, but it could definitely borderline get thick very quickly, so you have to be really careful with that. I like to apply it with this Luxie Beauty 514. It's called their blush brush, but it's just a really like wispy brush, and I like to apply these like thicker powders with things like that. So it was okay. Definitely wouldn't repurchase it, and the Body Shop does not carry this in the United States anymore, but I looked up the price of it on the Australia website, and it was $19.29 if you converted it from Australia dollars to US dollars. So it is a pricey powder, but I would never buy it. And the last makeup item is by the brand Marcel, which is, you can get it on Birchbox. That's actually how I got this, was in a Birchbox a long time ago. But it's a Canadian brand, and this is the Curl and Lengthening Mascara. So this had like a rubber bristle wand. I really felt like it curled my eyelashes, and so I was pretty much almost done with it, but I wanted to just kind of pull it out and finish it up, and the wand broke off inside of it. So I can't really use it, but like I said, it was a curved rubber bristle wand. It was nice. I don't think I would purchase it, but this value of this was $7.50. I then have one nail care item. This is the Revlon Colorstay Longwear Nail Enamel. This is the base coat that everyone loves. I've heard a lot of people talk about it. It's this really thick, kind of creamy white. You can see it's all gone. It was getting to the point where, I mean, there's just nothing in it. And if you can you see that string? It was super stringy what was left. And I mean, obviously, I had to lay it on its side and then crinkle it around, like do this to try to get any, and it still didn't really come out. So I got a new base coat. I'm trashing this. It's gone. And this is valued at $7.99. They no longer sell this. However, you can get it at TJ Maxx. I've seen it. So I don't know. I mean, if they kept selling it, I'd probably purchase it, but they don't. And so now I'm going to try other ones. If you have a good base coat, I did buy one from Formula X very recently. However, Formula X is also not being sold in Sephora anymore. So if you have one that you really like, I hate when my little hairs get on the wrong side. Let me know. So that's all of the nail cares. Like I said, I had one. And now we're going to get into skincare. I have quite a bit of skincare. This is the Maybelline Expert Eyes Moisturizing Eye Makeup Remover. So this was just actually a really small bottle. I was kind of surprised when I got it, and I was like, oh no, this is going to be really tiny. But this was an oil, not like a bi-phase cleanser or just like a water. It was an oil, and I thought it did an amazing job removing all of my makeup. What I did is I just put a little bit out of this on my, my fingers, and I rubbed it around my whole face, and then I'd wash it off, and then I do another cleanse. I always do a double cleanse, one to kind of remove the makeup, the next one to actually clean my skin. And this lasted me almost 3 months, I would say. It lasted a lot longer than I thought when I first bought this, because it was only $3.94. So I thought, well, that's really inexpensive. I thought it'd be a little bigger, but it's 68 mils, 2.3 fluid ounces. So I was like, oh, it's going to last me like, what, 2 weeks? But it lasted a long time, so big fan of that. And I would repurchase that. Next, I have the Clean and Clear Advantage Acne Spot Treatment. Now, if you watch my channel, then you know I never throw away makeup unless it has gone, or beauty products, makeup, anything, unless it has gone really, really bad or it breaks me out. Those are the only two scenarios which I ever get rid of makeup, because I paid for it. And yes, I know a lot of people are like, I'm about decluttering, I like to get rid of things. If I don't love it, I'm not going to use it. I'm not that way. You do you. This I've probably used up, I would say, half to 2/3 of this little container. And I was using it as a spot treatment, but it kept breaking me out. So I would just like use it, and I'd be like, oh, I must have used too much of it, because it would, wherever I use it, that one spot, if it was white, you know how sometimes you get like those like blackheads, or you get like the cystic acne. If I had a little white spot, I could put it on there. That would look better, but then I'd get like 3 or 4 like cystic acnes right around it. So this does not work for me. I know a lot of people love it though, but for me it's a no. I would not purchase it, because I'm not even using up the whole thing. This is a lot of air. Like I said, I'm at least halfway, if not 2/3 of the way done. But this is $7.99. Next, I have this Ulta Beauty Deep Cleansing Clay Mask, and this is the Detoxifying Charcoal. So I bought these because I needed, so Ulta never does free shipping unless you spend $50. So I spent like $47, no, $44. So I needed to buy a couple of, like, a mask or two to just get over. And I thought this was actually going to be a sheet mask. It was not. It was one of these like foil packet masks that has mask inside of it. This was enough to use 3 masks. However, you have to use them really quickly because it is open to the air and it will dry. So it was a very thick mask. I have a picture of on my Instagram of me wearing it. It's just like a black, thick mask. And it was okay. I didn't notice anything amazing about it. I didn't really notice it cleaning up my skin. It didn't do anything bad, but it was just fine. It was $3. So, but I don't think I'd purchase it again. If you're looking for a clearing mask, I love the Michael Todd Pumpkin Enzyme Mask and the Peter Thomas Roth Irish Moor Mud Mask. Those are my 2 that really help me on my skin. And kind of along the same lines, I have the Glam Glow Super Mud Clearing Treatment. I know everyone and their mother loves this. I do not. I used it. It was fine. There was nothing wrong with it, but I just don't see any results. This is full size. It's a $69 mask. The value of this foil packet is $3.08. And it doesn't do anything that makes me think, wow, that's worth the money. Like I said, the other 2 that I just mentioned, the Peter Thomas Roth and the Michael Todd, they are worth the money for me. This one is not. So no, I would not purchase that. And oh no, I have a couple of more masks. I've been masking a lot. I'm out of school, so I can do a little more masking and things. This is the Peter Thomas Roth Rose Stem Cell Bio Repair Gel Mask. I actually just used this a couple nights ago. I like to post pictures of me using masks on my Instagram. If you don't follow that, it's linked below. It's Becky Loves Kanga. But this was just a very clear, almost transparent, like very light pink, almost transparent gel mask. So you couldn't really see it. And I didn't notice that much smell of rose, which is good for me. I don't love the smell of rose. I didn't really think it did anything. It was kind of a soothing mask, but I didn't love it. If you're wanting a soothing mask, I really love the Fresh Rose Face Mask. That's really hyped up on YouTube. I love that. I think it's amazing. And again, I'm not a rose girl, but that one really just does things great for my skin. But the value of this sample packet was 71 cents. Okay, and the last mask I have for you guys is the Hey Honey Take It Off Exfoliating Honey Peel Off Mask. So this is a clear mask that you put on your face, you wait for it to kind of shrink in, and then you peel it off. I got this in an Ipsy bag a long time ago. The first time I used it, it would not peel off. So I was like, okay, great. So I just kind of like put it up on my shelf and I was like, oh, there's that mask again. It's never going to work. I've used it 3 more times since then, so I got 4 uses out of this sample. And it did work. Like, I don't know if I just put more on or it dried out. I also noticed that it would kind of congeal. You can see it. There's a teeny bit right there. Congeal to the inside. So I don't know what the packaging of their full size is, but if you do get it, just notice that like you have to kind of peel out kind of a gunky bit, kind of like with lotion. But it did work. It peeled off, and I felt like my skin was super smooth. I think I don't have terrible breakouts. If I do get them, this is like right around my chin, and it's generally due, I think, to like dry skin or not exfoliating enough. So this really works for me. I enjoyed it. I don't know what the full size price is. This is worth $7. But I would definitely be interested in purchasing this or another peel off mask. I know a lot of people love the Boscia black mask. I've never tried that. I've never tried another peel off mask, so if you have recommendations, as always, let me know. But this was good. Then I have, this is an expensive item. It's another thing I got from my Ipsy bag. You can see I used up every last bit, but now I can't read it. It is the Mid-Pair See Your Youth Vitamin C Serum. So this was, a serum that has vitamin C in it. It didn't really smell like anything. It was just a general clear serum. This is extremely expensive. It's over $100 for a full size, and this is almost half of a full size. So the value of this tiny little sample is $52.80, and I went through it in about a month. I did not love it. I didn't notice it doing anything. The one serum that I've ever used that I really felt like did amazing things for my skin is the Sunday Riley Good Genes, which is another really expensive serum, but it works for me. This didn't do anything. I would never purchase that. I used up a cleanser. This is the Purity Philosophy cleanser. This is a tiny little sample size that I got in my Sephora Play box. This was a nice cleanser. I didn't use it to remove my makeup. I used it as like my secondary cleanse. And it did a nice job. It was just a normal cleanser. I don't notice anything amazing. I got it really, really close to my eyes, and I never noticed it stinging, which is really nice. I would use it again, but I don't think I'd ever purchase it. And this is worth $3, the sample size. It was nice, but not great. Those are little puppies. Hippocampus. Kanka doesn't really need to play right now. This is another Sephora Play item. I'm really like desperate for skincare right now. I'm almost out of all of it. This is my Peter Thomas Roth Water Drenched Hyaluronic Cloud Cream. So this is a moisturizer, and I could actually use this as a daytime moisturizer. It gave a ton of moisture, but it wasn't too thick or heavy that you couldn't like put makeup over it. It was really, really nice. It was $8.13, and I could definitely see myself purchasing a full size of this. It is more expensive, which is kind of a downside, but I really liked what it did for my skin, so I do enjoy this a lot. And the last skincare item is the MD Solar Sciences Mineral Sunscreen SPF 50. I use this on the boat in case you can see my super sexy tan line. I am a marine biologist, so I go out on the boat to do sampling and stuff. I was just on there Tuesday. Today is Thursday, so and I used this up then. I use this on my face only, and it was nice. It was really thick. My face didn't get burned, so that's really good, but it wasn't anything amazing. The value of this is $4.41. It is a more expensive sunscreen, and I don't think it was worth it, so no, I would not purchase that. So that's all my skincare, so now let's move on to hair care. I have done a full hair care routine video in case you're interested in that, so I'll go ahead and leave it below because I know I get a lot of questions about my hair. My hair is permed, so it's not naturally curly, it's naturally really straight. I got a perm about a month ago, so we're really curly right now, and I love it. The first thing I used up is the Herbal Essences Totally Twisted Curl Conditioner. If you've watched my Empties videos, then you know this is my holy grail conditioner. I use it every single morning because I wake up, if I want to do my hair, I have to condition it, or else it's just like a frizzy, disgusting mess. This is $4.99. It lasts me a really long time. It smells delicious. I always get compliments from girls and boys about the way my hair smells, and it's really softening, but it doesn't weigh my hair down. Big fan. I will always repurchase this for the foreseeable future. And like I said, it was $4.99. I already have another one in my shower. Then I used up a shampoo. No, sorry. This is a conditioner. I got it from Influencer. I did a whole unboxing video. I'll link that below. And this is the Tresemme Expert Step 1 Beautiful Volume Reverse System. And so what you do is you would put this conditioner in first, and then you would shampoo it. And that's supposed to give you more full, voluminous hair because you don't have conditioner weighing it down. It was fine. It smelled just like, yeah, it smelled kind of sweet, just kind of like conditioner, nothing exciting. I'm almost finished with the shampoo, but it's still in my shower. It wasn't anything to write home about. I don't think I'd purchase it. I didn't notice it giving me a lot more volume. And this is probably not true, but when I got like really dirty, when I felt like, ugh, my hair is disgusting, let's say I was on a boat or just doing something where I just felt really gnarly, I didn't like using this because I felt like my hair wasn't getting as clean. And like I said, that's probably just a mental thing, not an actual thing, but I just wouldn't repurchase it. But this is worth $4.99 as well, and I do like the pump. I used up two little samples. These are both from my Birchbox. I'll just go ahead and link my whole unboxing playlist because a lot of these things have come from that. This is the Amika Bombshell Blowout Spray. Amika is a hair care brand that you can get at Sephora, and this is really nice. You just kind of spray it near your roots, and I kind of use it as like a hairspray, and it really does give me a lot of volume, so I'm a big fan of this. And this is the Parlor Smoothing Blowout Spray. Very similar. Between these two, I do like the Parlor one better. I just felt like it gave me slightly more volume. I'm a big believer in the bigger the hair, the closer to God. So if I had to choose between these two, I would choose the Parlor. However, this one, as far as I know, you can only get on Birchbox's website, and this one's at Sephora, so it's more readily available, and it is also very good. The value of the Amika one is $5, and the value of the Parlor one is $4.90. The rest of these things actually came from one of my subscribers, Elove. Erica sent me a huge box of goodies of makeup and skincare and hair care and anything you could ever imagine, and so I was using up some of those things. This is the Novex My Curls Deep Conditioning Hair Mask, and this was nice. This was like a one-time use. This 4-ounce packet is worth 19 cents. You can get this brand at Ulta. No, these two came from her. This I actually got in my samples when I got all of the Lorac Pirates of the Caribbean collection. This was fine. It just wasn't anything to write home about. The only deep conditioning hair mask that I really love is by Kerastase, and it is $8 bazillion. So this one was not anywhere near as good as that. This is from Erica, and this is the Ouidad Climate Control Heat and Humidity Gel. I really like this. I thought it did really nice things for my hair. I like really defined separated curls, and this gave me that. Ouidad is a more expensive brand, so I don't know that I'd purchase it because I can get that look with a lot of different things from the drugstore, but I did enjoy this sample, and this is worth $1.01. And then she sent me like 4 of these. I'm still working through a couple. But this is the Deva Curl Styling Cream. They sell this at Sephora. And this is a nice cream. It's what I have in my hair today, actually. So you can see it does give defined curls, but not quite as defined as I would like. It's a very thick cream. It's not like a gel or a mousse. I mean, it's a straight up cream. It's nice, but I don't think I'd purchase it just because it is a little more expensive, and I have other things I like better. But the value of this sample is $5.10. And now we're finishing up with body care slash kind of randoms. I used up this Bath & Body Works Love and Sunshine Ultra Shea Body Cream. I love the Ultra Shea Body Cream formula. I've talked about it a lot recently, but I'm super into getting kind of your whole body care routine from Bath & Body Works in the same scent. I really like doing that. I know that seems a little much to some people, and that's cool, but I really like it. So I generally use it up about 1 shower gel for every 2 body scrubs for every 3 lotions. I try to put on lotion almost every single day. So I love the formula of this. Now the Love and Sunshine scent, they describe it as Sun-Kissed Daisies, Sweet Lemon, Mara Strawberry, Golden Honeysuckle, and Sunshine Musk. I ordered it online. I had not smelled it beforehand, and to me it just smells like normal body care. Yeah, I don't really get any of that. It's slightly floral, just kind of like body care. My boyfriend John despises this scent. He says it smells like butthole. So I would not repurchase this scent because I would rather my boyfriend not think I smell like that. I think that's pretty fair. But I love the formula of this, so big fan. And these are kind of expensive. They're $13, but I use about 1 a month-ish. And I wasn't using that whenever he came over. I wouldn't put it on because, again, butthole. Not what I want to smell like. Then I used up the Bath & Body Works Gentle Foaming Hand Soap. This is in the shade Suntan. They came out with this really cute nautical collection last summer. I died for it. Again, I'm a marine biologist, so anything that's got ocean theme, I'm all about it. And this was really cute. The scent is Neroli Blossom, Sea Spray, and Driftwood. I think I liked this one. No, this one was a little citrusy for me. I use this in my kitchen, so it was fine for that, but it wasn't my favorite. I don't think I'd purchase this again. But I do love the bottle. And it's got a little sand dollar. Fun fact, they're actually called keyhole urchins. They're echinoderms, and I study sea stars, which are also echinoderms. Same phylum. Super cool. Maybe not to you. It is cool to me. I used up the L'Occitane Almond Shower Oil. This was from Erica as well, and I love this. So I don't get along super well with the the shave gels that come from the drugstore. I just have never really liked them. I still nick myself a lot. I use them up really quickly. I don't get along with it. I've heard a lot of people talk about using this for shaving, and that's what I did, and I think it's great. You know, I just would use like a tiny dollop and just put it wherever I was shaving. It made it really smooth, really easy. I really enjoyed this. The scent was just kind of a nice warm scent. So I really liked it. However, it is expensive, and I feel like if I use a thick layer of the Bath & Body Works soap, I get a very similar feel. It's not quite as luxurious, but it's still very nice. So I would not repurchase this, but I'd be happy to use it again if someone gave it to me, or if I saw it as a free sample. I would for sure jump on it. I really liked it, but I can get something very similar for a better price, so I wouldn't repurchase it. But the value of this is $4.18. And the last thing I used up this month is the Degree Motion Scent Sexy Intrigue Invisible Solid. It's deodorant. This one, did I not price it? Oh, $3.89. All of my prices, in case you're wondering, for drugstore items come from either Ulta or Target, because that's where I buy my drugstore products. So I was at my brother's graduation, not actually there, but on that trip, and it was the day before his graduation. So, you know, I just pulled down my deodorant, I twisted it up, and it just popped out. And it was like, nah, girl, we're done. And I was like, ugh. So I used my mom's, thank goodness. I really like the Degree deodorants. I think they don't make me smell, and they last well. Big fan of these. Would definitely repurchase. Although I think I'm going to go to men's deodorant again. I used to use men's deodorant. I switched to women's. I think I'm going back to men. I don't know. I'm just thinking it. So yeah. Again, $3.89. So this was a decently large Empties. Not as large as I have been doing, but still a good size. This month I used up $201.02 worth of items. Now, if you, I'm sure you did not, but if you kept along and you were keeping track of all these items and you're like, actually you didn't use quite that much, whenever I use up a Project Pan item, I go ahead and count it for that month's Empties, but it might not be included. So I used up a 4 by the 4th of July product, but I'm going to put that in June's Empties. It works for me. It's just how I keep it straight, but I just wanted to let you know that. this month I bought $104.77 worth of items, which is by far the best month I've done. That might sound like a lot to some people, might sound like not a lot to some. I get $41 worth of subscription boxes because I get 3. I get BoxyCharm, Sephora Play, and Ipsy. And as you can see, I've been using up those items, so that's really good to me. And then I bought the base coat, and then I bought a skincare thing that I'm going to show y'all because, like I said, I'm in like a haul very soon because I'm super running low on my skincare. Now, that's for just the month of May. I started the month of May having spent $65 more than I had used up because of the Lorac Pirates of the Caribbean collection. I just bought it all. I didn't want to miss out on anything. So now, at the end of this month, I have actually used up $31.25 more than I've spent. So I flipped it by almost, so that was really exciting. I used up almost $100 more than I spent. So I'm really happy with that. For the year-to-date totals, I have used up $811.26 worth of beauty items. You saw it was in my empties, anything that falls into that. So I'm really excited by that. What is slightly nauseating, but just the truth, and we're going to give it to you in 3 months, because I say year to date, but I started this in March, so really 3 months. Used up $800, really excited about that. I have spent $780.01 on beauty items. Some of those were absolute essentials, like this lotion. I was out of lotion, so I had to buy some. And now, as I said, all of the products that are used up, that's the full retail value. But as far as what I've spent, that's what's actually come out of my pocket. So like with those Bath & Body Works items, I get a better deal. I never paid the full price. But I've spent a lot of money on makeup and beauty items. It's what I do. It's what I love. So that's all I have for y'all. Let me know if you have any questions, requests, suggestions, comments, any of that. Go ahead and leave it down below. And yeah, I'll just see y'all real soon. Bye.